They got 10 samurai out in the field for me. And this man's family's after him because he wants his body back. And they the same ones that took it. Yo, what's up YouTube family, and we're back with another banger. In this video, I'll be giving my firstborn son to the demon god so my land can prosper. You good, Mud? But hold on, if you ain't catch that, let me go more in detail. We got Daigo Kagemitsu, and he's the lord of this land, and his land might as well be on the same scale as Hades, and if you know what Hades like, you can gather what this man's land is like. And to be completely honest, I can see where he's coming from, because if my land's poverty-stricken like Daigo, we got the latest edition of newspapers and garbage sprawled out across the street, I'd be quick to sign that 360 deal with whoever as long as my land can prosper. But basically, Daigo pulls up to the Hall of Hell where literal demons residing, and the priest is saying, yo, do not cast aside the ways of our god or your cook. Your land may prosper if you make a deal with these guys, but that is not a strong foundation to go off of. And Daigo's like, yeah, shut that junk up. He kills him on the spot, and he's like, oh, demon gods, take whatever you want, take whatever you need, as long as this land can be flourishing and abundant with baddies, racks, hellcats, anything, we need it all. May Zeus strike me down if this isn't the right way. And dude gets struck down by Zeus. Lightning hits him in the head, leaves him with a scar. But lightning actually just struck because the deal was made. I just wanted to say something to sound like I was kind of funny, you know, a little bit of humor. You know what I'm saying? But let's get back to it. And before Hyakkimaru is actually born, she prays to the goddess of mercy, so when the lightning strikes, it actually hits the goddess of mercy instead of absolutely just killing this baby before he's even born. But regardless of this, dude has no skin, no ears, no eyes, no nose, no mouth, no arms, no legs. He's looking like that one character from Baki wrapped up. Just imagine him with no skin on his body. Got me writing in the notes app as a reminder, don't slime out. Firstborn for a land success, or else you'll get a scar on your forehead. Alright. And boom, that's the upbringing of Hyakkimaru. We meet this little kid named Dororo, and Dororo got caught stealing from these dudes trying to steal their stuff. Hey little bro, we don't care how old you is. These hands can be caught by anyone, girls or men. Yeah, what he said. Literally 3 weeks ago, we had to beat a 14-year-old because he said he was better than us at Fortnite. Yeah, I had to show dude what real life nitro fists look like, and I'm finna show you too. Dororo tries to run, but they say, yeah, cut it out. Dororo gets caught. And these grown men who look like they have on Superman tidy whities are straight stomping this little kid. It looks like Dororo's getting the Ichigo treatment mixed with a little bit of the Gojo treatment, the best of both worlds. Till Dororo throws a rock at the main one, making his eyes start bleeding, and he literally starts drowning this child in his underpants. Somebody please get this man a new outfit. The lackeys ain't safe either. They got the same underpants on from a week ago. Go take a shower. But it's time to let Hyakkimaru's get back session begin. So we see this crash dummy with blades trying to expand his chi on this bridge. Quickly, let me break that down for you. Instead of saying aura farming, we're gonna start saying chi expansion. Soon it will catch on, and soon it will lock in, and I will be the pioneer. But let's resume. But he sees a pile of your back to school clothes coming down the river. He senses a red aura from it, and if a blind man can see that it's trash, you just gotta put it down. This trash beast, no Gachiakta, pops out the water. It grabs this man's face like a Spalding basketball. Devours this man in a heartbeat. Thank God we don't gotta see his atrocious fit anymore. Other two try to run, but he channels his scorpion from Mortal Kombat, sucks him in, and eats them both. The monster then picks up Dororo, but Hyakkimaru had to keep the story going. Takes his arm off, showing his sword, and cuts through the arm, saving Dororo. He lands, he thinks, jumps back, catches Dororo with his back. I've seen enough. The Steelers need some more receivers. Hyakkimaru starts running up the bridge while the Swamp Thing from DC follows. He weaves the attack, jumps on the railing and cuts 2 chunks of the monster, jumps over the hole in the bridge, stops to expand his chi once more, weaves the attack falling backwards, cuts the bridge on his way down, weaves another cut in a part of the bridge, and he's just dodging and cutting parts of the bridge as he goes. A blind man is doing this, by the way, and the bridge completely collapses, sending this man to his death. And Hyakkimaru starts tweaking, but as a result of this kill, his mask falls off his face and he gets his skin back on his body. And the fall of Daigo's land begins when lightning strikes the Hall of Hell, destroying one of the demon statues, and this ultimately results in a mudslide on Daigo's land. So on the bucket list, Hyakkimaru crosses off getting his skin back, and there's a few more things that man needs to get back now. So Hyakkimaru looks at his tasks for the day like it's Postal 2, and he's like, on this list they saying I need to get my pain back. So let's go ahead and get it done. So him and Dororo pull up to a village and they're like, yeah, we got a monster. I'm kind of looking at the man you're saying is the dude for this job, and it doesn't look like he can see, hear, talk. But if you're saying he's the dude, I'ma believe you. let's get this monster out of here. So a villager takes them to meet the village chief, and she's like, yo, I've been hearing so much about you guys, especially that dude right there. Ain't that the dude that we tried to take everything from him, but one of the demons couldn't get to him? I think that's him right there. And Hyakkimaru's itching for the fade. He gets his blade ready, and Dororo's like, yo, what's going on here? This is the village chief. You finna get us banned. And the villagers take this opportunity to see this as an offense, and they throw these guys right in jail. A random green hand pulls up to Hyakkimaru, Dororo, and this old man, but Hyakkimaru slashes that junk in an instant and follows where it came from. Kicks down these doors like he owns the whole building. The old lady transforms into some big green snake monster. She thinks she the man himself, Zarbon from DBZ. And Biwamaru says, yo, watch out. This is a demon guy right here in the flesh. Hyakkimaru goes in, blocked by James. He hits the ground. Weaves the next attack to land on the wall, jump in, then he gets stabbed through his chest. Pushes through being stabbed and cuts both of the eyes of the demon god. This lame old villager covers Hyakkimaru so the demon god can get away, moving like one of those people in Roblox who be protecting girls in games that don't even know them. She's not letting you do nothing through the screen, and you are never meeting her, bro, Chacho. Hyakkimaru cuts through the sheets and follows that demon.
Y'all youngest will date anything. Why'd you save her?
She said she hop on the game. She said she'll play Roblox with me, bro. I never play Roblox with a girl.
You throwing your whole village away to play girl and type soul? With a girl, bro, you need to get a grip. Games ain't that important.
But we're back to Hyakkimaru chasing this demon guy. He's cutting up every piece of bamboo she throws at him like he's doing the Ghost of Tsushima bamboo strike test to up that resolve. She throws more bamboo at him. He cuts two, cuts one more, then gets pinned to the ground. Hey, it's not looking too bright for Hyakkimaru till that bell sounds and she gets distracted. She looks back down and he's gone. From the absolute top rope like Jeff Hardy. He drops that sword into her forehead, double up like he's playing Rhythm Heaven, and she's done for. She starts yapping on some, oh, you want your body back? There was one demon that couldn't get you. Let me make up for his mistake. Hyakkimaru can't even hear, but he shuts that junk up with a stab straight to her forehead. Villager hit that one little Dirk song, man, I fell down on my knees when the law came. This breaks another statue in the Hall of Hell. And as a result of this kill, my man Hyakkimaru gained the ability to feel pain. So looking at that bucket list once more, looking at his tasks for the day, he has his skin back, check. He now has the ability to feel pain, check. But still, this dude's missing a lot of his body. Next up, we find about Jukai, the dude who raised him, but this doesn't add anything to the get back in Dororo, so we do not care. We do care, it's important to the story, but let's move on. Hyakkimaru standing outside in the rain, moving like Marlin, cause he can finally feel the rain actually hitting his body, till a random dude walks up with a clean cut in his back. Hyakkimaru catches one glimpse of that red and he's gone. He runs up to see a whole lot of dead bodies. They about to fight Michael Myers himself. Hyakkimaru drops his arm in the blood. He's about to get hit with a sneak attack, but he straight blocks that junk.
Yo, why are you killing these innocent people? What did they do?
Kid, I punched netherite for the fun of it.
And my blade said it needed some blood, so I decided to do some killing.
This weird dude stands on the top of his toes like Brendan Abernathy. He dashes in, Hyakki weaves, he steps back, weaves another, then weaves one last one. Hyakkimaru weaves one more, then decides to parry this bum's attack. Hyakki blocks the head on, pushes him back to gather his thoughts. Parries another attack and doubles up on that parry. This man Hyakkimaru out here move spamming right now, I can't lie, but what else could he do? Hyakki gets parried by this bum, but he decides to return the favor and parries him back. Hyakkimaru's gotta have a 3 times multiplier with all the parrying he's doing in this fight alone. The weird dude's eyes turn red, and this ain't never been a good sign unless you're Sasuke Uchiha himself. Hyakkimaru thinks he weaved the attack, but he hit him with a perilous one. He flips the blade, comes up, cuts Hyakkimaru's face. Hyakkimaru's at the edge of the mountain. He's about to fall off. So the weird dude runs in, stabs his fake leg, gets his blade knocked out of his hand. Hyakkimaru goes in for the follow-up, but he straight weaves the attack. Hey, thankfully he fell off a mountain though. Nah, lie, this man still somehow survived that fall. Dororo picked up the sword trying to retrieve Hyakkimaru's leg, and it ended up possessing her. No, that dude did not die, but his manhood did though. Hyakkimaru makes light work of Dororo, takes the sword out her hand in a heartbeat. Weird dude picks it up, but he's ready for that fade yet again.
Round 2. Fight.
Weird dude does yet another perilous attack, but Hyakki blocks that junk. Let me take a sip of my water cause we about to lock in. Knocks him back, weaves his attack. Perfect parries one and doubles up like Matt Stoney ordering extra food at Wendy's. Blocks his special attack, but he moves, spams, and uses it again and starts walking him down. Weird dude starts winning the quick time event. Hyakki deflects, weaves the wide swing, weaves the follow-up, quick parry, spin move to get behind him, and he starts chi expanding yet again. Weird dude's sister runs out saying, yo, don't kill my brother. But it's already too late. He shouldn't have tried tried to run hands in the first place. Weird guy tries to sneak, but he blocks it with his wooden arm. Pulls him closer for the fatality, equips his sword and hits him with the heavenly strike from Ghost of Tsushima. And as a result from this kill, Hyakkimaru gets his ears back. He's hearing the rain, he's hearing the crying, he's hearing it all. Another statue destroyed in the Hall of Hell. It's not too long for Daigo starts getting on his act trying to hunt this man down. So referring back to his bucket list, his task for the day. Hyakkimaru got his leg back prior to, anything happening. We saw it in the backstory of Jukai Hyakkimaru being a little younger. He got his skin back. He got the ability to feel pain back. And now he just got his hearing back. But this man Hyakkimaru still needs to get that meat back. But the land of Daigo is going through some tough times. It's like trying to farm during winter and harvest moon. There is absolutely no rain in this land. A war is about to break out due to the fact that this man couldn't build up his land the natural way. He had to sell his firstborn son to do it. So everything happening is deserved. Even his wife is saying, yeah, bro, you shouldn't have built this world on dandelion petals. This is such a weak foundation. You should have actually built it up with money and hard work, not selling your son. And to make a long story short, basically Hyakkimaru's sick. He hears this girl singing. She takes him back to the crib, the temple, you know what I mean? Nah, I'm playing. They got a whole lot of kids there, and she's just caring for dude. They're trying to make it out the trenches like that man Laser did. And have y'all heard that terrible album on TikTok, that Watch the Fire Bar, You Need to Stand Out Right Now? That song is so trash. I'm not gonna lie, I never found Laser fire. I found like 2-3 of his songs decent, but the rest of them are straight doo-doo. But Biwamaru pulls up and he's like one of them Disney characters saying, do you want to hear the good news first or the bad news? He tells him, yo, I found a nice spot for y'all. You could build some crazy stuff out here. 30 acres. You could have sheep, chicken running wild. You could have all the rice you want. And I'm not gonna lie, that sounded racist, but they were literally talking about one in a rice field. I swear they were. But then he's like, yeah, I'm sorry I just gave y'all false hope. There's actually a demon god there. So if y'all decided to go and live there, I don't know how long it would last, because you would definitely be his first meal. Hyakkimaru gets up instantly and starts walking to the location. Hyakkimaru's a little injured though, so this ain't gonna be no nice fight. However, the demon god don't care. He start pulling them in closer to him. Biwamaru takes his sword out and cuts straight through the demon god. Hyakkimaru follows up with a spin stab to the throat. He tries to escape but gets his leg bitten, chomped just like a titan would. Biwamaru slides through and saves him from the demon god. Hey, he may have lost his leg, but at least his voice is back. So referring back to his task for the day and his bucket list, we gotta, just cross off that leg and we gotta add on voice. So while everybody was sleeping at the temple, Hyakkimaru decided, yo, I'm not just gonna lose my leg and not get it back. So he decides to go fight the demon god, but he's alone this time and he's injured still. But before the fight back at the temple, they got hit with the back door of doom. Mio starts going up the stairs and a bunch of samurai follow her. But Hyakkimaru jumps in and he knocks both the demon god's arms out the way. He then weaves the first attack and weaves the other. We cut to Daigo's land and these bums are getting rainfall for the first time in a long time. And to be fair, I can't hate on the civilians, but I'ma hate on them solely for the fact that they live here. But Hyakkimaru got caught like a Pokemon. Leg getting crunched like a dog bone and all. His leg gets broken, but he was 10 steps ahead. He takes a sword in his leg and stabs the demon god. Kicks his leg out for more damage and uses him as a sonic spring. And from the top rope yet again, he drops down and cuts clean through this demon god. And back on Daigo's land, the rain stops before this dude with a terrible haircut can even get a bucket of water. And of course, you already know another statue broke. And off that bucket list, he gets his leg back. But Hyakkimaru's get back is not just for Daigo. He's about to get back for his friends at that temple. So to make another long story short, boom, you have Mio, the girl Hyakkimaru was supposedly in love with. I low-key don't even know. Does this dude even know what love is? But she's going to a camp. She's getting down and dirty for some bread for the temple kids. Then she decided, yo, I'm gonna go to the opposing camp. They caught her lacking with a spy and they followed her back to the crib. Like I said before, the back door of doom. They pull back up to the crib and everyone is dead. Like usually they be saying, yo, don't kill the women and don't kill the children. Dororo runs to Mio but gets grabbed and skipped like a rock. The main dude's like, oh, you're with them? I'll kill you too. Till a bunch of blood splatters on the ground and that's when we see him. The man himself, Hyakkimaru. He gets surrounded by all the samurai, but it's until he looks over and Mio's still alive singing her song. Hyakkimaru stabs this dude through the throat, follows up with a goodbye and good riddance to the gut. Hits this guy with a Wally West classic, cuts through him, then stabs him in the gut. Dashes and turns this guy into minced garlic. Runs through to make it a double kill, no triple. Runs up to the last guy, cuts through his blade and helmet in the process, then splits him like a fraction. And bear with me right here, this combo is insane. He cuts his spear in half, cutting him in the process. Stabs him in the arm, then cuts his other arm off. Cuts through him, then kicks him off. Hyakkimaru runs up, jumps, and uses the Zoro Onigiri midair and cuts his head clean off his body. He's about to kill the last dude till Dororo saves his life, cause I'm not gonna lie, if he killed him, he probably would have lost his humanity. Yo, wait, what if Dororo gained her humanity while Hyakkimaru lost his? That would low-key be a tough parallel, bro. But he ain't even gained a body part back from this. He just had to get back for those at the temple. So looking back at that bucket list, we have that leg. He actually got it back. We have the skin. We have the ability to feel pain. And now we have Hyakkimaru's voice back. So Dororo and Hyakkimaru pull up on this dude who looks like Ai from Super Monkey Ball. And he tells them basically this black cloud appears, and to get it to go away, they need to take someone ripe and fresh from the village. Offer her up as a bride to the monster. I'm talking about Shrek, and I'm talking about Fiona in her prime. But yo, the person they're taking away is actually my sister, so I'm not gonna lie, we gotta get away with this ritual, and Hyakkimaru and Dororo are like, bet. We got this demon out the way. So they pull up to the mountain where this girl is waiting to be offered as a tribute. And these two guards are thinking about leaving the spot. Nah, they got what they deserve. They both got turned into the Apple logo, just like Toji, that deadbeat father. This man Hyakkimaru's really showing us his Helen Keller right now, cause he can't see a thing. The centipede swoops in to eat Super Monkey Ball Boy, but his sister pushes him out the way and gets absolutely chomped. She's gone. She's his dinner. The centipede gets hit with sunlight, so not only can Hyakkimaru see it, but they now know this man's weakness. And yeah, the centipede flies away. But now they try to fake the centipede with a fake wife to get him to pull back up. And he indeed pulls back up. They drop this big centipede in the pit, no engine. And they straight light him up with Escanor level heat. This centipede gets blown up. This man's chilling in blue flames like he's Azula. And the centipede takes time to say, yo, this coat was last fashion trend. This is not even trending anymore. Let me change it and let me move on to bigger, better things. And he literally becomes bigger after molting his skin. Hyakkimaru can't see, so he's using echolocation like a bat, shooting arrows at him just so he can hear where he is. Hyakkimaru runs in and cuts straight through this man's eye. He weaves the centipede's next attack but gets smacked point blank, sending him flying to the ground. Dororo drops down and ties a rope to him and starts shouting so Hyakkimaru can know where to attack. But she gets a rock smashed straight on her head and she goes night-night. Hyakkimaru starts screaming, trying to get her to wake up, and he makes quick work of this centipede with this block. The centipede grabs him by the swords and sends him to the top rope involuntarily this time, since this man's been spamming sky-high attacks. Dororo's up now, so the only thing they can catch is a W. Hyakki drops with a spin and stabs the centipede clean in his eye, riding this man into the sunlight. Low-key pause, cause that actually kind of sounds crazy. But out of nowhere, another centipede appears and it just straight up eats this man Hyakkimaru. But he just cuts the centipede from the inside and destroys the entire thing, so all's well that ends well. Even the sister ended up being saved in the end too. She wasn't even actually his sister, he just looked at her like one. And as a result, Hyakkimaru gained his nose back from this kill alone. And coming to you live from the Hall of Hell, yet another statue is split, and Dago's like, hold on. No shot. My son's still alive, bro. Oh my goodness, yo, they gonna get me for that YouTube video. That hate comments finna be flooded because I was capping. I barely didn't even sacrifice the dude. And this is where the beef begins to come full circle, right back to the land of Daigo and everyone who lives there. Hey, what did Paul say in the Bible? He said you reap what you sow. So Tahomaru is like a grown kid saying, my dad won't send me out to war, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill a demon so he can see my true power. But he loses his first bout with the demon and they gotta return back to land. He then traps the demon in a pit so they can get some easy hits on him because the fight's on land now, it's not on water no more. The giant crab ends up breaking the dam and water starts flooding the pit, and Tahomaru's lackey is about to get eaten by this crab. And low-key, I wish he did here, because for the upcoming get back, you're gonna start hating this man. But the goat runs up and slashes clean through this crab, taking him to the Red Lobster menu, doing stuff Tahomaru and his lackeys just couldn't do. Hyakkimaru chi expands by standing on top of his latest body. These two bums pull up saying, yo, we found the dude, we found your son. And he said all of this, I quote, he's coming for your head. He's killing every demon god. He wants the land to fall. Also, he can have his body back. He doesn't care about you guys. He just wants to see blood. He just wants to see murder. And that's all on him. I didn't make up a single word on everything. That's all that Hyakkimaru said. And Hyakkimaru gets word of a demon god chilling in the wall of Banmon. Although when he cuts him up, a bunch of arrows get shot at the demon god and the demon god disappears. And standing across from Hyakkimaru are Daigo and Daigo's men. Yo, bro. What are you?
A dirty clinker like you can't speak to this man. Did you not know this is the man who sold his firstborn son to make this land good?
Hyakki flicks the rocks up, knocks the torches out of their hands, and gives his dad PTSD of him as a baby. He tells him, yo, I'ma be real with you, my boy. I should have let you drown in that river. You should have never made it this far on this earth. Hyakki takes his arms and he flees the scene. But Dororo and Hyakkimaru go back to the Banmon because one of their friends got pinned up to the wall and they're making sure he doesn't get sent to heaven a little too early. An entire war is going on between the Daigo and Sakai forces right now, but the yokai pulls back up and scares each and every single one of them back home. But there Hyakkimaru is again, face to face with his own dad. And this low-key reminds me of that one video on TikTok where it's the couple at the gender reveal party and it's a boy and the mom runs away screaming and crying because it's a boy. Except imagine now with the dad. She's mad dude ain't even out the womb yet. Tahomaru pulls back up and it sounds like he's trying to sympathize with Hyakkimaru, saying, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, what our dad did to you was pretty terrible. And I'm not gonna lie, since I was raised in wealth and I had all the toys I wanted, I had all the people I needed, I can't even relate to you. I'm gonna be so real. And Tahomaru's like, yeah, if I gotta choose between protecting the land or protecting the brother I didn't know, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to kill you, buddy. So Tahomaru and Hyakkimaru both start running. Hyakkimaru parries Tahomaru's attack and blocks the other one. The demon god pulls back up and Dororo can't untie Sakaraku, so she's like, I'm gonna call for my brother. And Hyakkimaru's like, I bet. I got 5 seconds to make quick work of this little sheltered bum. Hyakkimaru blocks Tahomaru's attack, holding his blade like tongs do to a patty at a summer barbecue. They struggle for a little, but he cuts through his blade and cuts through his eye at the same time. I swear this is Hyakkimaru's favorite move. Starts running on the wall and jumps at the demon god and hits so many spin moves I can't even commentate them all, and the demon god is gone. Hyakkimaru's mother straight up says to the demon gods, yo, take me instead, and tries to kill herself. Another statue gets broken in the Hall of Hell, but Hyakkimaru doesn't gain a body part back from this kill. And this next fight right here ain't even that crazy, so I'm low-key finna speed it up with y'all. They pull up to this village of Sabame, I think that was his name. This dude is so chopped, I don't even know what animal to compare him to, but he looks like something, maybe a fish. I can't quite put my finger on it, but he leaves this giant butterfly out into the river. He sets it on fire, it gets disintegrated into nothingness, and from this he gets his spine back. So checking the bucket list yet again, we got this man getting his leg back prior to this all happening. He has his skin back now, he has the ability to feel pain back now, he has his ears back now, he has his nose back now, and now this man got his spine. And his voice, of course. Can't believe I forgot that. Dororo and Hyakkimaru get separated because Hyakkimaru was not listening to Dororo. And guess what? She ends up getting abducted by her old man Zatachi. Hyakkimaru ends up reuniting with his caregiver Jukai. And I'm not gonna lie, this scene had my blood boiling. It had me getting heated on Hyakkimaru's behalf. Because Jukai was saying, why do you want your body back? And Hyakkimaru was like, dude, are you serious? It's mine. It's my body. That's why he wanted his body back, because it's his body and it was taken from him. I'm not gonna lie, Jukai, there's no way you're not seeing eye to eye with this man. I guess Jukai did have a point though, because he's saying, you're just killing. You're gonna lose your humanity, Brody. And Hyakkimaru was like, bro, I just want my body back. That's it. You won't get me my leg back? I'll go kill the demon god that took it. And guess what he does? He finds out that they took Dororo to an island, and he's like, you know what, before I do that though, I'ma go find Dororo. And he just happens to cross paths with the demon god that took his leg. Tahomaru also gets word that they were spotted on the beach, so he's like, alright, I didn't expect to take a little vacation to go down to Florida and have some fun on the beach, but we about to go have some fun, and we about to take Hyakkimaru's head while we at it. Hyakkimaru makes quick work of this demon though, and of course he hit his signature from the top rope move, sky high attack, drives the sword through his head, the demon god is gone. And from this, Hyakkimaru now stands on his own 2 feet. He don't got a peg leg, he don't got a doll leg no more, it's his skin and flesh and bones. But this is only 7 minutes into the episode. There may not be any more demon guys, but he's about to get his get back. Tahomaru takes all his ships and they sail to the coast, and Hyakkimaru spots this. And they got Hyakkimaru boxed in. There's nowhere he can go. He uses Dororo to equip his sword. He runs in to attack Tahomaru, but Hyuga drops him with his big old weapon. Hyakki runs in and he clashes with Tahomaru and ends up pushing him off. He then blocks Tahomaru's next attack, but Tahomaru uses substitution jutsu to pull Hyuga out of nowhere. Hyakkimaru weaves the life-ending attack from Hyuga and weaves the follow-through. He turns around to a Minecraft bedrock skeleton and destroys all the arrows, weaving one of the shots. Hyakkimaru's trying to reason, saying, why would my own dad want to kill me? And this bum Mutsu says, yeah, cause you being alive is a pain, now die. Sneaks him in the back. Tahomaru attacks, but Hyakki blocks it, no questions asked. And Hyuga follows through with a perilous attack, breaking Hyakkimaru's sword. Hyuga tries to attack, but Hyakkimaru dodges and uses an arrow to push himself up in a tree. Jumps off, dodging an arrow, and uses another sky-high attack. Hyakkimaru turns around to go for an attack, but Tahomaru took chi expanding lessons from his own brother. Steps out the way to line Hyuga up for a devious hit to the gut. Spins his weapon, hitting him in the head, but he blocks the 3-shot combo. Thank God, or else it would have been raps. But Hyakkimaru hits him with a spin kick to the jaw, sending him skipping like a rock. It looks like one of those TikToks where they drop those big boulder-like rocks into the water and they make those crazy splashes. That's like skipping Hyuga. He runs up and Tahomaru blocks his attack and he tries to push him into the arrow in the tree. Tahomaru takes his sword and drives Hyakki's blade out the way, parries both of Hyakkimaru's attacks. Hey, you can't lie though, that spin move expanded his chi. He then blocks Hyakkimaru's next attack. Hyakkimaru jumps into another block and redirects his blade, and then clashes with Tahomaru to close it out. The demon god shark belonged to this dude, by the way. He's a little freak. He said the sharks are his only friends, his only family, so he's like, they're dead. He blows up the entire mountain. This causes Tahomaru and his squad of jumpers to flee the scene, and it's until they see Hyakkimaru again for the next fade. And for the final demon god kill before the true get back, this dude named Saburota tells Dororo and Hyakkimaru, yo, there's a demon on the mountain. He gave me this scar, but if we work together, we can get this man gone, you know what I'm saying? But in the end, Saburota was just trying to get the demon god to eat them. And yeah, nah, Hyakkimaru makes quick work of the new way, but he doesn't get a body part back, so he starts crashing out. He's getting mad. And that's the 11th demon god statue gone in the Hall of Hell. Dororo calms Hyakkimaru down, but he's like, yeah, I'm chill now, but we still going to Daigo's province. I'm getting that 12th one gone. Not only is a war about to break out on Daigo's land because Hyakkimaru is straight up destroying these demon gods and his land is reverting back to the Dark Ages, but Hyakkimaru is pulling up himself, and Daigo gets word of this, and Tahomaru is eavesdropping. Tahomaru, my fault, I said Tahomaru or whatever I just said. Tahomaru was like, yo, let me take Mutsu, let me take Hyuga, and we gonna get Hyakkimaru gone ourselves. You don't even gotta waste your own men on them. He's light work, I got him. Hyakkimaru and Dororo are chilling on the edge of a mountain until an arrow absolutely comes out of nowhere, destroying Hyakkimaru's fake arm. And there they stand, the trio of jumping. Hyakki turns on those jets dashing in, and Tahomaru does the same. He slides to dodge an arrow shot by Mutsu. Hyakki deflects the arrow. He blocks the attack but gets kicked out the way, rolling like Snoop Dogg's favorite activity to do every day. Hyakki moves his head out the way to dodge the next attack. Hyakki weaves his next attack, then proceeds to dodge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've seen enough. Angel Reese has some competition in the paint. But in all seriousness, I know Tahomaru chose these servants because of their troubled past, but I'm not gonna lie, he could have got some dudes with better aim. This dude's literally the reincarnation of a stormtrooper if he had a big old club instead of that laser gun they use. But he then stands on top of his weapon, uses it as a diving board to dodge the arrow midair. He runs to Mutsu and uses his fake arm as a shield. He then stabs her in the arm, and this guy Hyuga heated. Hyakki cuts Mutsu's arm off, weaves Hyuga's attack, and then takes his arm as well. I'm not gonna lie here, obviously I'm on Hyakkimaru's side, and Mutsu and Hyuga are kind of, you know, like the antagonists. But still, this is a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie, he's moving different. This even got Dororo crying, rightfully so. He then goes for the finisher on Mutsu, but Tahomaru blocks that junk head on, throws his blade into the sky and hits him with a perilous chop. And yes, I'ma need some more water for this scene. Throws his blade up and kicks him to a new frame. Hyakki weaves the first attack and parries the second. And then the animators decided to lock in. Parry from Tahomaru, and then an absolute miss. I thought he was finna cook. But then he weaves the next attack, parries both of Hyakkimaru's blades. Hyakki parries once, parries twice, and weaves the third. Leans a little to parry Tahomaru's attack. He's moving like the Tower of Pisa. They both spin into a parry. Hyakkimaru hits a spin move, but Tahomaru parries. Can we get a word check on how many times I've said parry, bro? Tahomaru parries again, but he gets staggered. Hyakkimaru hits a spin kick, sending him rolling across the ground. He goes in for the finisher with another sky-high attack, but Tahomaru rolls out the way. Tahomaru blocks his next attack and barely dodges the stab. He goes for the kill shot, but Hyakki barely dodges that junk. I thought my goat was finna lose one of his fake eyes, although he really doesn't even need them. He then flips it by going for an attack and actually cuts Tahomaru in his forehead. Tahomaru has yet to damage this man, by the way. They run back in, but a bomb appears out of nowhere, making them both jump back. They then strap a horse up with bombs and use it to blow Hyakkimaru off the edge of the mountain. How did he survive this? You know, I just can't answer that question. Hyakkimaru then gets a fire horse and starts going around killing Daigo's army, and they're saying, yo, this man's becoming a demon guy. Someone needs to stop dude. But before the final battle begins, Mutsu's a little sick, so she pulls up to the Hall of Hell and she's like, yo, since I'm finna die soon, you know, just take me and, you know, get this all sorted out, you know, get Hyakkimaru out of here. And in the middle of this, Tahomaru and Hyogo pull up and they're like, whoa, slow down. You don't gotta do all this, just die by sickness. And then she's like, yeah, nah, too late. The only way that this demon pact with Daigo and the demon guys can be fulfilled is with the body of Hyakkimaru. And right as Hyakkimaru is riding to Daigo's castle to get it all finished, he gets stopped by Tahomaru, Mutsu, Hyogo. They have Hyakkimaru's arms, and Tahomaru has Hyakkimaru's eyes. And Hyakkimaru's being rage bait all fight. Hyakkimaru's like, give me my eyes back. And he's like, you want them back? Too bad. Hyogo straight up said, yeah, these body parts were never yours, buddy. And Mutsu's agreeing. I swear this fight was straight rage bait for it all. But Hyogo got quick work made out of him. He's getting stepped on like King Charles did to that one dog in that dog pen. Only reason he ain't died sooner is because the baby horse pulled up to the mama horse and the horse got stabbed while it turned its head. Anywho, Hyogo gets his head ripped off. Mutsu gets a swift kick to the chest. Oh yeah, Hyakkimaru gets his hands back, reaching to the sky like never before. And then Hyakkimaru and Tahomaru start running towards the castle. As you can probably tell, because I'm not really commentating this fight, the budget is getting lower. I'm saving the budget for the final fight. Call me 7 Deadly Sins in the final few seasons. I'm gonna give y'all peek here in a few. But yeah, they fight here in the grass, blah blah blah, where Hyakkimaru was drifted away, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, parry, blah blah blah, run. Oh yeah. So they make it to Daigo's castle, and this is where the final squabble takes place. Got the candles being blown out with every step like Hyakkimaru's the final boss. Tahomaru looks up and sees Hyakkimaru standing there like the monster that kept us from going downstairs late at night when we were in elementary school. Not a single word exchanged, Tahomaru readies his blade for the final fade.
The battle continues.
Hyakki dashes in and gets his first 2 attacks parry, knocks Tahomaru's blade out the way, and then uses him as a ladder to run off the wall. And me personally, I'm yielding here. The little honor I already had has been torn to shreds. Jumps off the wall just to get parried twice by Tahomaru, and you already know what I'm about to say without me saying it. Let me just play the clip. They clash on the first attack. Tahomaru parries the next. A spin parry from Hyakki with a double up. They're both just parrying each other, but still no damage has been done. Hyakkimaru spins and throws this guy across the room and starts attacking on the recovery. Knocks him into a brand new room and gets his sword stuck in the door frame. He still flips over Tahomaru's next attack. What did I tell you, bro? This chi expansion is getting out of hand. Drops with a parry into a Tahomaru step back. They knocked over the lights and the whole room gets set on fire. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, Dad, Mom finna be mad. If I kill you, I should get the Xbox. Alright, bro. Bro, just give me my eyes back. So they both run at each other and clash. And they going crazy in these flames. I can hardly commentate because I can hardly see. Hyakkimaru blocks his first attack and slashes through his arm. Tahomaru parries his attacks and slashes through his face. I think this is the first time Tahomaru has actually injured Hyakkimaru. They straight run at each other with a flurry of parries, and I'm getting tired of saying parry. Hyakkimaru blocks Tahomaru's attack and pushes his sword out the way. He blocks the next attack, cutting off all means of a follow-up, and parries him 1, 2, 3 more times before staring him down, and fire blocks them. And the brothers chi expand together one last time before the finale of their sword swings. Hyakkimaru parry blah blah blah, but Tahomaru cuts him and says, yo, how dare you bleed on my floors, buddy? They take the whole fight outside and Tahomaru saying, yo, this is where I walk, this is my room, stuff like that. He really is Daigo's son because he's giving this man a house tour on YouTube live in the moment. He hits Hyakkimaru with his perilous chop, putting him in another quick time event. And he's trash talking on nefarious level saying, yo, why did you live? And Hyakkimaru's like, yeah, buddy, I hate to burst your bubble, but you're hollow. What's up with that, twin? Tahomaru goes in for yet another perilous chop, and he knocks both him and Hyakkimaru off the railing. Not only do they fall through a building, they also fall down a story and land on rocks. Fall damage just doesn't exist in this universe. But Tahomaru blocks Hyakkimaru's attack, but gets a cut clean across his forehead. He kicks Hyakkimaru back, and they're fighting and parrying each other on the way back up. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm banning the word parry, but they fight all the way back to the original room that they started fighting in. A piece of the roof falls down, and Hyakkimaru pushes Tahomaru into the wall. Smoker from One Piece pulled up to help with this fight because a smoke screen appears out of nowhere from the debris. And there Hyakkimaru goes. He sees some flashbacks of his mom in Dororo, and he makes the right choice like me and you all did in Sifu when we fought Yang. Hyakkimaru cuts through Tahomaru's sword but spares him in the end. Tahomaru starts getting possessed by the 12th demon, but he's like, yo, I'm breaking this cycle. I'm not finna be like my father. So he takes the eyes out and he hands them to Hyakkimaru. And as a result, the 12th demon is revealed and Hyakkimaru kills that junk instantly. And finally, Hyakkimaru gets his eyes back. He gets one look at his mom and Jukai, the goat that raised him, and they comfort Tahomaru, then they all die in peace. Hyakkimaru's like, yo, Dororo, you're pretty. And she's like, alright, bro, watch out. That's illegal. Hyakkimaru asked Daigo, yo, if you had the chance to do this again, would you do it? Dude straight up said, I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Anything for the clip. But Hyakkimaru gets on his Thorfinn timing. I have no enemies. And he spares his dad. Dude's like, dang, that kid could have been a gold mine. I should have made YouTube videos with him. But in all seriousness, Daigo says, yo, maybe if I didn't sacrifice that man, he could make this land prosperous in his own way. And that is the story of one of the greatest getbacks in anime history and also the most underrated, bro. Nobody talks about this. No long outro. Like, subscribe if you like the video. Turn on notifications so you never miss a banger again. This is 34 minutes. Please, please send it to your friends, your grandparents, bro. I don't even know. But I'll catch y'all in the next one.